Okay, we need to talk about this. We have all heard that AI can make you a quote-unquote 10x developer, right? But AI can also make you a 0.1x problem solver. And I think a lot of students who are preparing for tech interviews are actually moving in the second direction. While solving a DSA problem, you get stuck for 10 minutes. What do? You paste it into ChatGPT, you write some code, and you're not able to find the failing test case. You paste the entire code and ask, what is the issue? You want to build a project. Instead of figuring out the architecture and the database schemas, you just turn on the agent mode and say, build this. And I understand, everything feels faster. You are solving 3, 4, 5, 6 problems every day. Projects are getting built in a day or two, and you are never getting stuck. But 3 months later, when an interview shares your screen and asks you, okay, how did you do this? Go ahead and make these changes. And now you are suddenly stuck with no AI autocomplete, with no agent and no instant debugging. And in fact, you can see traces of this in contests as well. You are not able to rank without using AI at all. Sometimes you realize something very scary. AI is actually improving in problem solving, whereas you are not. I have been in ICPC World Finals and have worked as a software engineer at Google, trained so many students to get at top tech companies, and this has been my constant observation in today's time, that people are struggling in this constant battle with AI on when to use it and when not to. So in this particular video, I'll give you a clear framework on how to use AI during your interview prep, not actual work, so that you can make most out of your prep and ace the interviews when it comes. Now I understand that I have prepared during the time when there was no AI, and I sometimes feel sympathetic that you get such a powerful tool on the day one with you, but still you do not know how to use it. You have something that is available 24/7 that can help explain you concepts in n different ways, generate examples when needed, explain you how is the sample running, maybe even sometimes help you dry run unknown codes or decode the logic hidden inside different codes. But problem is not when you use AI. It's when you delegate AI to solve the problem and you think you have solved the problem. In this particular video, I'll talk about 5 different buckets: DSA and competitive programming, development, core CS and system design, agentic AI and quote-unquote agentic development, and communication and mock interviews. I think the way you use AI in all of these 5 buckets has to be very, very different. And if you understand the ideas, you will be able to use them much more judiciously. Let's get started with the first one. In DSA, if you have been looking at problem and you are asking ChatGPT to explain it again and again, many a times your comprehension skills don't get built. In fact, if you are getting stuck in writing codes in after 2-3 lines, you feel stuck that you are not able to type what lines to be written next, and you just paste the question, paste your code and just ask it to fill it. You're not doing the implementation, and you will not be able to do it in an actual test. And every time you are stuck for debugging, I'm sure that most students are using AI. I can guaranteedly say that probably AI is the #1 reason why most people are not able to become good at DSA and CP in today's time. So here is a very simple rule for DSA. Think about this as your problem and the editor screen. Think about this as the ChatGPT screen. The rule is you cannot copy paste something from this screen into the terminal here or the editor here, and you cannot copy paste something from the ChatGPT and paste it in your code. Looks very simple, right? What I'm saying is you disable Control-C, Control-V for the ChatGPT window and your coding screen. Now what happens? If you have to understand something, you'll have to type it. If you have to understand syntax of a particular programming language, you will have to explain ChatGPT what do you want to understand. In fact, even in that, you have good amount of comprehension being built, and you'll have to read that solution that ChatGPT presents and then make the corrections in your code. It will stay in your memory. Removing friction is not always the solution. Sometimes if you are unsure about a particular problem, you can give it the sample and ask about how is this running on this question. That's still fine. But I think code pasting and debugging is probably last thing you should do in any particular problem. Use AI like a search. If you want it to be your debugger, maybe ask AI to generate a test case without any reason and then try run your code and see why your code is failing on that test case. You will realize what is the inherent idea why this test case is particularly failing your idea. The simple rule is no code in, no code out. The second track is development. When you're starting out to learn development, you would be learning about HTML, CSS, JS, Git, GitHub, and sometimes all these basic foundational stuff feels like age-old things, and sometimes it feels like you do not need to even know about these archaic technologies. But the whole internet is kind of working on it, and being an engineer, you have to know how these things work. Even if you do not need to write it, and today's agents are probably capable of writing all these codes, you need to read the code that the AI generates and possibly sometimes make changes as you deem right, or at least take decisions and make the AI do the change. So when you are learning development, maybe you have learned MERN stack, please do not use agent mode, because agent mode kind of does everything for you. Agent mode is kind of like vibe coding, and you are not learning how to vibe code, right? You want to become an engineer. You should use tools like Anti-Gravity IDE, and in that, on the sidebar, you can use it to be just a helper and ask it questions when you get stuck. Basically, use the AI as in ask mode or chat mode. You can use the autocompletes once in a while, but still when you are learning the syntax of JavaScript and stuff, maybe turn that off too. Remember, when you are going to be going into interviews, no matter how much progress AI has made, even in today's interviews, you'd be asked to write syntax on hands, and you will not be able to do it if you have never done it before. Sometimes when you're building hard projects and you do not know how to approach it, maybe you can use a ChatGPT to plan out what can be an MVP and how can I break it down into milestone, which features should I implement first and all, and then go ahead and learn about the concepts and implement those things. There is difference between learning dev and doing agentic dev, which means using the recent tools to build software. When you are at the start, please don't use agentic dev. Next, let's come to core CS and system design. And I feel it's probably the best search and a Q&A bot that you possibly have. Any particular topic you want to understand and deep dive, just throw in the topic, understand more about whatever parts you are curious on, and at the end of the session, just ask me 10 interesting, easy, medium, hard problems on this particular topic so that my concepts are solidified. It generates really good questions and you can actually get good practice. In fact, if you are on anti-gravity, you can put in a prompt that I want to simulate an LLD interview and give me a starter code and give me a problem statement to fill. Once I give you the next step, tell me what all improvements I can do in the code, what are my mistakes, how can I improve it. It will just give you a quick basic interfaces and functions to be implemented, and once you implement them, it will tell you what all solid principles or things that you are violating. For system design, definitely put in images of system designs that you see and ask for trade-offs that it kind of works on and how can you improve this. In fact, if you are practicing system design on Excalidraw, draw whatever you want, give it into AI and ask it to rate it. It will tell you the drawbacks and how can you possibly improve. The more you read, the more you learn. Next track is agentic development, which means learning a little bit about agents and actually doing the dev using agents. Now in this, I think you should go full AI, and this is something you should do at the later half of your prep. Over here, you want to learn how can you take maximum out of the agents that you have. So how can you make sure that multiple agents are orchestrated together? Maybe how are you building code trees and how are different agents working parallelly on front end, back end in the same code repo? Understand the difference between knowledge work and dev work and what tool to use where, what works where. Because nowadays I'm even seeing companies to give you a screen and build something and see how you prompt these agentic AIs. The better you prompt, the more signal it gives to the interviewer that you understand everything. Are you able to use simple architectures that needs to be built to implement a good PR? And finally, I feel for people who are struggling with communication, it's a big blessing because now you can take your mobile and open ChatGPT's app and ask it to be your mock interviewer and ask you 3 to 4 HR questions, and you can answer that, and at the end ask it to give you a feedback on what you can improve, how you can frame your introduction, how can you answer questions like what is my strength, what is my weakness. And this kind of 30-minute session every day with AI can be a very big practice that can drastically change your communication for interviews in the last 7 days before your main interviews maybe. That's it. For DSA, use it like a search, no code in, no code out. For development, use it in ask mode on Cursor or anti-gravity. You can use autocomplete, but it's just a chat to assist you on things. For core CS and system design, ask it to be your reviewer and use it to do deep dives. Agentic AI, when you are building something, go full in with AI. And then for communication, use it like a mock interviewer for you to ask you questions and improve your answers for common HR questions. That's it. If you follow these rules, I can tell you that you will take out maximum out of everything you have. You will not be paralyzed when you actually don't have AIs in the real interviews. This is probably the track how 10x engineers can be created in today's time. That's all for this particular video. It was just my thought. I hope you liked it. If you have some comments and if you want me to talk about certain things, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you have your thoughts around certain things, happy to talk about them and take questions. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Bye-bye.